Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to put a new tube inside this tire. So the tire itself is in pretty good shape, but they're doing a bunch of construction in our neighborhood, so the kids ran over a nail, it punctured, went into the tube, so we're gonna try to, which I've never done yet, take this back tire off and put a new tube in it, repump it back up, make sure it holds air, put everything back together in theory, and they'll be able to ride the dirt bike again. So that's it. So step one is we're gonna take off the back tire. So the bike that we're working on today is a Razor MX650 bike. So you've seen us replace the batteries in this bike. We also have a 500, an MX500, but pretty much all of the setup's really the same. So the back tire wise, stuff that has the same type of braking, the same chain and everything like that as well. So we're gonna take care of doing this and see if this works out for us. Okay, so that actually was super quick. So let's hope the rest of this project goes like that. But basically just to loosen the two bolts, gotta hold one side and use a ratchet on the other. Loosen both bolts and lift it up, pull forward a little bit and remove the chain so that we just have the chain hanging where it was. We definitely don't want to move this too much because it's kind of like, it doesn't look too complicated, but we just wanna make sure that we keep it in the same spot that it was before. So we're leaving that kind of hang there just as it is. This is gonna be the hardest part, I think, is getting this tire without breaking the tire completely off this rim. Okay, so it is a little bit of work, so I am sweating a little bit. Got the tire separated from the rim. So got that, everything's separated. Here's our old one. And honestly, it's got multiple holes in it. I don't know, it's probably why it didn't hold. My guess is the kids probably rode it while it was flat. But there is a hole in here from a nail somewhere. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Oh, there's another, whatever. Anyway, so that's done, got that separated. So now, here's our new inner tube. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed this into the tire first, and just to get it kind of situated within the tire. Then I'm gonna attempt to get this on the rim without popping the tube in doing so. So putting this in first, there we go. Kind of feeding this in there like that. Obviously the most difficult part is going to be to get this back on correctly without puncturing that tube. So I'm going to do that first, and then I've got to find where our hole is to feed into this. So that's going to be my first kind of goal here, is to get this fed through there. The nice thing about this inner tube that I bought online is it actually has a screw to kind of hold the stem up. So I'm just gonna put that on loosely for right now because I'm gonna do some moving some stuff around. So, but that's what I'm gonna do to start with, is just do that and then go from there. Okay. Step one is really gonna be, can I get this kind of centered in here without the tube kind of coming off? So this is harder than I thought it was going to be, but I muscled it on. I'm sure there's an easy tool you could use and buy to get tires on, but I don't do it enough. So I muscled it on with my hands because the last thing I want to do is pierce the tire. So I did that. This stem, like I would look for this when you buy this. The stem having a screw on it is really nice, honestly. So I did that, muscled it on. So now I just have to get the other side put on and make sure that my tire tube is up in there correctly. So I definitely don't want to puncture this tire tube because I don't want to do this again. So I want to make sure that's way up in there. You can see it's peeking out a little bit. Now it's in there. So there we go. And I'm just gonna try to see if I can work my way around this with my hands and muscle it. I feel like I'm really working in a shop at this point. Because if I don't have to use a tool, there's no likelihood that I will pierce that. So I'm just gonna keep trying to work it and see how far I can get it around. Now I'll get some fingers. It probably takes a couple hands if you're doing it with screwdrivers. So you probably need a couple hands, but got it wedged on, got it pretty much, I think, all in place now. So before I actually put this back on the bike, I just want to make darn sure I didn't puncture it or do something stupid. So I'm just tightening this nut down to bring it as close to the surface as I can to the rim. And then we're going to give it a pump up, see what happens. Pumped it up. Tire's holding some really good air. So it's nice and rigid again. So now the trick is to get all this stuff put back together. So I'm gonna get the chain put back on, which again, we didn't take all the way off, so I think that's probably the smartest move, is just to not take it all the way off. So that way, obviously you have to go on both sides of the bolt here. You can get that kind of situated again without too much difficulty. Then we're gonna pull back a little bit on this, so we can, if we pull up a little bit on the chain, it kind of gives you a release some tension. And you're pretty much gonna want to have a washer on both sides. So I'm not sure why this other one doesn't have a washer on both sides, but when we bought it, it didn't. So we're gonna, maybe I got one here I can put in there. But basically when I want to get this situated again, I'm getting a washer on both sides of this. There we go. Well, try that again. It's easier when I got two hands, which I don't have, or two extra hands. Oh, look at her. She's got it. Okay, now, there you go, you're good. You're good? So now I got that side going on, and then the other side you gotta kind of get down at the same time because it's part of your braking. So we're gonna try to see if I can find a washer for that other side and drop this into where the braking is. So there we go. So I think we're in. So we'll situate our chain a little bit here in a minute because my camera person didn't do a good job of that. So get that centered up. So a little bit of finagling here to get this in there right, but okay. So pretty much what I'm just doing here is just making sure that all of the pieces that we have that are in place here actually are good. I can see why his brakes aren't working right. It looks like he's missing something, but I want to make sure this spun pretty evenly so it's down at the right levels there. And then we're just going to crank her tight and hope for the best here. Clearly you want to make sure it's on there good and tight so your kid's back wheel doesn't fall off. Okay, there. That should do it. And then I'm probably going to check a few extra brake things here because it looks like his brake mechanism is kind of jacked up. That's probably why he can't stop that well. And then we're going to do one other thing here to lube up his chain and call it a day. Alright, so that's it. So a little bit more muscle than I wanted to eat in a little bit more time, but it takes a little bit just to get the tire off and that sort of thing. So that's it. The bike's ready to ride again, and until the next time they break something or we have to replace the front rim, or we'll see. Something will always happen when kids riding these things. So, but that's it for now. Subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. If you need any help, send us a message. Thanks. Bye.